What inspired me to do hair was one day I went to a salon that was absolutely magnificent and huge, and I loved it. And what happened was I had always done hair on my friends. They were friend enough to let me do their hair, which I thought was pretty amazing now that I think back on it. And so I was always cutting everybody's hair, especially guys. I thought I was just like unbelievable guy's hair cutter. So I thought it was a great hobby, but I never thought of myself being in the business until I went to the salon, as I was referring to earlier. This salon just motivated me, and I thought, wow, if I could work in an environment like this, I will do whatever it takes to be in this business. So I immediately asked my stylist, who was doing my hair at the time, how do I go to beauty school? What does it take? And I called that very afternoon when I got home and signed up the next day to go to beauty school. And from then on, I have been very passionate about this business. Some of the things that have made me successful over the years is I immediately knew that when I got into beauty school, I was going to be the very best student that I could possibly be and absorb as much as I could in the school. I also thought, how do I get my training faster after I got out of beauty school? Because I realized beauty school was just a way of getting your license, and then it was the true work starts after beauty school. And meaning that I ended up going to London right after I got out of school to an advanced training over there. And I did things like that to really get my training on the fast track. So as I was doing that and using my skills from beauty school, I became very successful very fast in doing that and making all those efforts to do it. I think is what's made me very successful.
I didn't even know I was getting in the beauty business when I got in the beauty business. I was shining shoes in a barber shop in New Jersey, and it was a men's barber shop, obviously, and the atmosphere was very cool, very similar to what Belinda said earlier, that she loved the atmosphere she was in, and that's what got her going. Same thing for me. Local guys in the neighborhood were coming in, getting their haircuts. I was a shoe shine boy, and I just said, this is the kind of atmosphere I'd love to be in. So one day I told the owner, Giuseppe Vitalupo, Italian guy, great barber. I said, I'd love to be a barber. He says, man, it's hard work. I said, I'm up for the challenge. And from that day on, he started training me to be a barber, and I've never looked back. When I first started training, it was hard. It was 3 nights a week, and this guy was an old school barber. He was really tough. He was big on discipline. And I couldn't be a minute late. I had to have exactly every tool that I was supposed to have for that night's class. I had to have a model, and he just really wore me out. At the time, I thought he was kind of a mean guy, and today, and I'll call him today and still thank him 40 years later and say, thanks for all the help, because without that kind of training and discipline, there's no way I would have got on the track to be successful the way we have. The best thing I learned from Joe Lupo when he trained me was that unless it's your very, very best, you're not done. There's times I would ask him to come check the model, and he'd say, before I come check it, is it the best you have? And very rarely did I say yes. I mean, I thought I was done, but he would always make me think twice to go back and look at it and double check. And it was always a little snip, or there was a little trim or a little something, and it always came off to make it that much better. And I think sometimes that's the difference till today between something that's really good or something that's great.
I had the privilege early in my career to be with someone that was on the show circuit, and he was a fabulous hairdresser who owned the salon that I was working at, and we traveled around the country and abroad doing hair shows, and he allowed me to be part of this team that he had developed. And so by doing that, you know, I had to really be on my game to teach others. And I was young. I was very early in my career. So I got as much information, as much education as I possibly could, anywhere I could, to take this team and make my place in it. And it was invaluable what he did for me was absolutely amazing. He believed in me as a young stylist and thought I could do it. So by him thinking I could do it, then I thought I could do it. And we were very, very actually famous all across America doing these hair shows. And to be able to get a start like that, I thought was just absolutely amazing. And I thank him today for that. One of the greatest lessons I learned early on is stay consistent. My motto is, if you're going to be bad at what you do, stay bad. If you're going to be great at what you do, stay great. A client wants consistency. And so I learned that very early as to, just making sure that my clients can always depend on me for being a smiling face, in a great mood, and on top of my game, as I said earlier, in my skills in hair coloring.
When we first opened Salon Visage, what was different about Salon Visage right from the beginning is we only cut and color hair. We didn't have any other services there. We didn't have any manicures. At the time, we weren't certainly doing any perms. And we started making a name for ourselves because at the time, hair was very big. And it was curling iron work, and it was like old Farrah faucets. And coming from the British background of hairdressing, we were doing kind of Vidal Sassoon type haircuts. And it wasn't for everybody, but when we did do them, it was really gaining a lot of attention from people on, hey, where'd you get that haircut? And that was really the beginning of Salon Visage, as far as making a signature for itself, is that it was doing really kind of swing haircuts at the time, we called them, and we were doing really cool hair color on them. So we were known for swing cuts and custom color.
The very first Salon Visage was tiny. It was very little. And it was in a small, older house that had been transformed into a salon. And it was very cute, as Frank always says, but it was definitely lacking because I had come from this big, huge salon, and to join him in this adventure. And I wasn't used to being in that type of environment.
You say you weren't impressed. Is that what I'm hearing?
I was not. At first I was not. Even though he tried so hard to impress me with it. The metal folding chairs was questionable.
What metal folding? It's amazing, the power of the mind. I thought the place was fabulous, and she came in and pointed out all its warts, but it was the start of what turned out to be something pretty good, wasn't it?
Exactly. Actually, when I worked at the other salon previously, before getting connected with Frank, I always heard about this small little salon that was doing some amazing work. And I kept on thinking, who are these people and where do they come from? And maybe I should check it out. Well, little did I know that I was going to be dating and marrying the man who started it. And 27 years later, here we are.
Here we are. It's been awesome. It's been a great ride. When we first opened Salon Visage, we didn't have what we have today. I mean, there's so much support and help around us. I mean, I can remember having to leave home really early because I had to put coffee on, stop at the bank and get change to get the cash register going, be ready to shampoo my first client. So when people see Salon Visage today, and especially our employees that come in today, when they see the infrastructure we have and all the support system around them, it truly sets them up to be successful to do the things Belinda was talking about earlier. She had somebody that believed in her, but they also had infrastructure around her to travel and do great hair. The guy was an internationally known hairdresser, so you were able to get that intellectual property so you could be good quick. So, what it was then is completely different what it is now. But I think it's easier for a hairdresser today to join this company, and if they're willing to do their part, we have in place what it takes for them to be able to be successful with this company and be a part of it and belong to this team called Salon Visage.
Today we have grown to 175 employees, which I think is absolutely amazing. But we just didn't get those employees. We have worked very hard over the last 27 years to get where we are today. And meaning that it starts with the leaders. And Frank and I have been very, very passionate as to our commitment to what we do every single day in the salon. From years ago to today, we're still on the floor and we still do hair because that really is our passion and that's what drives us. We always want to be the best at what we do, and we drive our employees to do that also. So to me, I think that's what has made us so very successful, is that commitment every single day from the minute we walk in those doors to the minute we leave, and also finding the right employee. Not just the right employee, but the employee that fits us, that employee who has passion, who has self-discipline, who has just a way about them that wants to please clients, who is constantly looking to better themselves, to be more educated. And for them to hop on our train, it makes it that much easier for them because we have all of that infrastructure to take care of their needs. And I am so thankful every single day that we're able to provide that, not only for ourselves, but we provide incredible careers for our employees. And it makes me feel great every day that I can be part of somebody's life in their growth, don't you?
Absolutely. You know, it's one of those deals where it's almost like a role reversal. I talked earlier about when I started that I thought I had this guy that was almost being mean, and here we are today in that position, and it's not coming from a mean standpoint, it's coming from a loving, caring, almost a maternal, paternal standpoint, the way we are with these kids. So we want to make the right hire, but at the same time, there's times it appears as though we might be riding you hard or our expectations are a little bit high, but I can promise you that's a difference in you being able to have a great career or just having a mediocre career as a hairdresser.
Well, you know, it's funny too, the employees who really didn't make the cut or thought they couldn't make the cut because we were just a little bit too hard, a little bit too firm as they thought at the time, have literally come up to us years later and said, I apologize because I know what you were trying to do now. Now that I have a little bit more maturity and now that I understand business a little bit better, I know what you were really trying to provide for me, and I apologize for not realizing the gift and the value you were giving me at the time. It's been amazing how many people have realized that after, but it's also been amazing how many people get the gift right away and they become highly successful with us, and they've been with us for years and just have grown and grown and grown.
You know, Bill, when I think about it, and I know there's some people that didn't make the cut, as you say, but I'm sitting here hearing you say that, and I'm thinking we have so many people that have been here over 20 years. We have a bunch that have been over 15.
Yeah.
We have over the 10-year club is giant now. The 5-year club is fantastic. So it's collecting the right people with the right attitudes that are wanting to be part of something, doing the right things for the right reasons.
Well, and then we also have this incredible talent that keeps coming in. These young people that with this talent, and then that fuels the whole group also. You know, these guys that have been with us for a long time are learning from our young talent and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it really makes it such a great, incredible environment.
It's kind of become generational now.
Yeah.
So for those out there that are joining this team, you have a wealth of information that have been here before you, but we also need you guys to bring the enthusiasm and the excitement and the newness to make sure that we just keep going forward. We've been asked numerous times, what's the one thing that we believe sets apart Salon Visage, or is maybe been the catalyst to our point of difference, or what makes us different? What do we believe in? What's our backbone? And that is education. If there's one thing that we have been from day one until today, have been extremely passionate about education, but more importantly than passionate, I think we've almost been excessive with it in a good way. So many times through different stages of our business, change is necessary. And the one thing that's never changed is education. I was sitting in an audience one time, and James Morrison from Tony and Guy was on stage, and he said that he believed that Tony and Guy owned the word education. And I was very polite, but I did want to pop up and say, I dare to beg the difference that Salon Visage owns the word education. And Belinda, until today, I mean, we got all stuff going on this week. There's stuff going on next week. You know, 42 years later, uh, I'm as passionate now, but also 27 years later as salon massages.
Yeah.
We can't get enough of it, can we?
No, we really can't. And what I hear more times than not is when an employee comes in and does an interview with us, they're wanting the education. I want to come to salon massage because of your education. So when they come to us and realize it is for real, and they have been to other salons, maybe started their career out with another salon and decided it's going nowhere because they boast of education, but it really wasn't there. I've heard that a lot of times. And we actually have it. We've had employees who said, wow, you have a lot of education.
Were they really saying maybe too much?
Yeah, but that's okay. You know, as we've said over and over, you know, there's that employee that is perfect for us and is right for the task at hand, because they also have to be passionate and they have to want to drive their business. We say constantly, we are partners in this. We're a partner with you and you're a partner with us. If you're doing 50% of it and we're doing 50% of it, we're going to take you to the success that you've always wanted and desired.
You know, a good friend of ours has a belief system, and his catchphrase is knowledge destroys fear. And when we look at some of the early on hairdressers, the one thing that stops them from being successful isn't the desire to want to be successful. It's not having the knowledge it takes to make sure you can please a client. So the one thing that's going to happen inside the formal education system here at Salon Massage is we will give you the confidence and the tools necessary that when you start doing hair, we'll set you up to win.
Hi, welcome to our family. Thanks for being here. We're so excited that you have taken the opportunity to be with us. Hopefully a phenomenal long career, but we want to go over some things with you that are exciting and important to that career that you're going to establish with us. Hi, welcome to our family. We are so glad you decided to sign on with us.
Some of the things that are going to be necessary to be successful here, obviously, is going to be a great attitude. I mean, it's so easy to just say that, but I can promise you that if you want to set yourself up to win with this company or any other company, you bring a great attitude every day. On the days it's not easy to bring it, it's going to be a big difference on who rises to the top quicker. It's a character building position when you first start. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but I can promise you one thing, that if you do the things that are asked out of you by your middle managers and your senior management, we've seen this so many times work in such a fashion that we know what it's going to take for you to win. So one of my pieces of advice would be to listen and kind of do it for a while until you get it figured out, because I can promise you, as owners, our job is to really be on your side. We're looking out for what it's going to take for you to win, to be, no matter what position you're in, no matter which brand. But the one common thing we're looking for is somebody who's willing to deliver excellence. Excellence is going to be the common denominator between salon, spa, barbershop, the academy, the Be Styled. Doesn't really matter what the product is, but the attitude of excellence is going to be asked out of each and every one of you.
And this may be very scary to you because it's a new environment. Just learning all of the names is going to be hard enough for you. But we're with you. As Frank said earlier about management, management sounds like a scary word when you're beginning in a company, but that management is on your side and they're with you and they're for you. We've set you up for success before you've even walked in the door. And because we've been in business for so long, that's why we're able to do that for you. So know that, as Frank said again, we're on your side and we want you to be successful, because if you're successful, then we're successful. And if we're successful, the whole family's successful.
You know, one of the things that we've seen through the years for people that have really done well is that they don't get sidetracked. They stay focused on what's important to them. And if a successful career is important to you, then come to us. We have an open door policy. We want you to know that there's not any question that's too small, or maybe you think we might not be interested in it, or we might look busy. I hear so many times, Belinda, people say, oh, I didn't want to bother you with that. I didn't want to bother you with that. But I don't care if you're first day on the job or your 10th year on the job. Bother with us with anything you want because we're here for you. You know, the first phase of a new hire, it's always exciting. It's like a date, it's dating, it's new, it's the honeymoon. But then you're going to get to a part where maybe 6 months, a year down the road, where it's starting to grind out and get a little bit tougher because excellence does take long. It's not something that's going to happen overnight, but we do set ourselves up in this company for you to move forward so you're incrementally succeeding. But Belinda, we've seen through the years where maybe after it's been 6 months or a year, it feels as though, man, am I ever going to get there?
Oh, so correct. With our past employees, just right when they get on the verge of jumping over that line of now I'm on the floor, they sometimes want to sabotage themselves and say, I can't do this. I'm not worthy of this. I'm not ready for it. But I promise you, you will be ready when the time comes. And our biggest thing is stay focused on your career and where you want to go with it. I remind our employees sometimes, when you first came to Salon Massage, what were your aspirations? What did you want to get from us in your career? How did that look like in the very beginning? So what we do is go back over that, and then I kind of refresh their memory on, yes, you still want what you want, and we are still providing that for you, and you are going to be successful. It just takes a little bit longer and a little bit more patience with where you're at. And it does get hard, as you said earlier. It does get hard, but all the things that you are learning will so be with you the rest of your career, and you will just absolutely take from that level and jump into the next level, It is just absolutely worth it. And what's really great about Salon Massage, we're sitting here sounding like it takes forever, but it really doesn't, because our educational system is set up where it's actually faster to learn and get on the floor faster with that confidence that you need. We can give you all the technique that you want, but we want you to be confident behind the chair and to be able to not only do the technique, but to also speak to that client with intelligence, with knowledge, with confidence. And that is what your success, how that all comes about. It's the entire package. And when you see it through, and you get on the floor and you say to yourself, wow, I made it. That's when you say, every single second of what I've been through as an assistant and all of the classes I've attended, all of the areas of what was required of me has been so worth it, because look where I am now. Because you start making money pretty fast after you get on the floor, and that is what is the start of something absolutely amazing in your life, because then you are able to provide for yourself. You're able to buy that car that you wanted. You're able to purchase that house. And we've seen so many great things from our employees that it's just exciting when they have all these firsts in their lives, because they have a great career and they're making great money with us. And it's exciting to me to see it every single day.
You know, Belinda, and that's on the service provider side. I think what we're equally excited about today is the people that join one of the Visage brands, and it doesn't matter which brand you join. The one thing that is constant is that our attempt is to be a market leader in all our brands. And if you're going to be a market leader at something, you're not going to get there quick. It's not going to happen overnight, right?
Although we want it to.
Sure you do, but at the same time, you don't become a world champion and not do everything it takes to do it,
Yeah.
So even if you're joining this company as a non-service provider and you're working one of the desks or you're working inside the call centers or anything where you're not a producing technician.
Or you're a massage therapist.
Yeah, but I mean, even the ones that aren't doing to where they can go and start making money that way. We've had people inside this company create jobs that weren't even jobs. They put such a value on making sure that we found more for them to do. What was their next level? And when you have that kind of value, we'll figure it out what your next step needs to be, even if you're not on a natural career path. So our general manager, we have some location directors that just carved out a niche that says, I am so good that you got to find something else for me to do, and we found it.
That is so true. So fabulous.
With all our different brands, we've had the excitement to have been voted Knoxville's best over 20 years now in either some or all of the categories, and that's been pretty exciting. It's taken a effort from each and every one of us to be able to do that, but it's not something that we take lightly. We're glad we did it for the last 20, but more importantly, we want to do it for the next 20. And Belinda, that's not something that you can just go out and say, okay, I'm going to be the best, or we're going to do great cuts or great massages. It's a lot deeper than that. And
Yes.
I think you, of anybody in this company, exemplifies bringing your best every day. And when you bring your best every day, and they're voting best, you tend to get the one that, that's who does it. So I think you're a great example of that.
Well, thank you so much. With all of the awards and all the accolades we've gotten across the years, with that comes high expectations from our client. So we continually raise the bar for ourselves because we know the client's raising the bar. So when a client walks into one of our locations, whether it be the barbershop or the spa or the salon or our advanced hair academy, we already know when they walk through that door, they have an incredible thought process about us, and it's very high. The expectation is high, and we want to meet them and do even better than what they're expecting. So when they walk in, they see that, first of all, it's a very busy environment, so they might be a little bit intimidated at first when a first time client comes in. So what our goal is to immediately establish a relationship with them. The front desk is always very friendly, and then they take them back to the areas that they have the appointment with, and then they get to know, of course, their service provider, and they do a fabulous job on them because, as we've talked about, we have such an incredible education foundation for our employees. But it doesn't just stop there. It's all about taking care of the clients and giving them that experience that is just over and above what they actually need.
Well, Belinda, they're not coming to us for what they need, right?
Well, that's true, yeah.
You say that, but there's some brands that they go for need. I think what happens with us, the toughest part of the Visage brands is because of reputation, because we won the best, it's almost impossible to meet the expectation that they have coming in. Mm-hmm. So no matter what position you are in this company, you have to realize that you're playing a role in that client's experience, and they're going to judge us based on how they were treated from the minute they walked in till the minute they walked out.
So every area is so important.
Every person,
yes.
Every area. I mean, because sometimes, if you're new at the company, you might think, I'm not that important. You're very important. You're as important as a person that's been there 20 years.
Exactly. Every department, I mean, think about it, like the laundry department. If we didn't have amazing people working in our laundry department, in our maintenance department, we wouldn't be running.
No.
So they're just as important as that absolutely incredibly busy service provider, as well as that sweet, kind-hearted, welcoming desk provider. So it's just amazing when a client does walk in the door, they automatically feel comfortable. And it's funny how I've heard this over and over, like, well, I didn't really want to go to Salon Visage or Spa Visage because I thought it just might be too uppity for me. And then when they walk in the door, they get so pleasantly surprised that we're real people. Yeah, we got a few awards, but we're real people, and we come to work every single day just like they do, and we do our very best every single day, just like they're expecting, but then we do a little bit more. It becomes very personable. It becomes such a family environment for our clients as well as all of our employees. Our employees are definitely a family, but our clients feel that way too. And that's what I think that we bring to this entire community every single day. And it's just so much fun doing it. I don't ever say to myself, wish I didn't have to go to work, because it's always so much fun to be in our atmosphere.
Yeah, it really is. And the team's phenomenal. We have a phenomenal team. You're getting ready to be part of, we look at it as the next person we hire is we're adding to the family.
Yes.
And it becomes a collection of people that we need as a group to be able to be on the same page, moving in the same direction with the same end result in mind. And that is to make sure that the client is not just happy, but that we don't just deliver or we don't just meet their expectation, that we exceed that.
Yes.
So no matter what position you're being hired for, you have to realize one thing. We need you. We need you to be excellent. We need you to bring a smile. We need you to bring your best every day. And in turn, I guarantee you that the rewards will be exponential.
And focus and be passionate every single day too.
Bring it. Bring your best.
Always. Every single minute of the day.
You know, people say, bring your best or stay home, right?
You know, several years ago, our employees decided they wanted to define who we are throughout our entire Visage group. And we got a business coach to help us with that. So it was a great day of just getting together and helping each other realize who we are. So they totally defined who we are, all of the employees, and they came up with 3 lovely words that defined us. That does define us actually every single day. And it's elite, innovative, and family. So you're now part of our family. You're getting ready to be innovative and you're getting ready to be elite among us. So welcome to our family at the Visage Group. We are so glad you're here.
So with that said, welcome to the family, and we're glad you're part of us.